Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. It's Halloween soon. This is technically our Halloween episode. I am Dexterity Box, joined, as always, by Punk Chef 41, rocking the Viking beard for audio listeners and whatever the hell is on his face currently. But
It used to be when I had a scooter, like when I was 21.
Brilliant. But he is going to take that off because we thought that, do you know what? It'd be great if you could keep that on and do a Halloween episode. I've gone with the skull t-shirt. I've gone a little bit more I don't even know if you can see that on the main camera. Yeah. We've kept something themed for Halloween. But, yeah. Have a good one if you do something for Halloween. Really it's just an excuse for a drink when you're an adult, isn't it, really? Yeah. Or if you've got the kids.
If you got a kid, you just try to fulfill their Halloween candy or sweets and then have it yourself.
Did you just call it candy?
I did. I've been watching a lot of American TV shows. Leave me alone.
Oh, no.
I don't like it.
I think you're fired.
All right, see you later, Master Celtic.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope this podcast finds you well, as I always hope it does. Please leave us nice reviews, all that sort of housekeeping. We haven't had a review for 24 days.
Sounds like Big Brother house there.
It's like 24, but worse with reviews. That's the level of desperation right now. It's all right. We've got quite a few reviews, but please keep them coming in a timely fashion. If you are new and you haven't yet left us an audio review, please do so.
They do help.
We've only got one game coming up this week, so there's no Dexterity Watch stream. However, I may do something on Twitch. I may do
Phasmophobia or something like that.
No, I may do the actual Creator Club thing I was going to do.
Oh, that'd be good.
I may start it with like a couple of hours. That's a hiccup. We'll keep that in.
By the way, you still have an issue with your Xbox, like freezing and stuff? Because I haven't got it on PlayStation at all anymore. FIFA.
I've not had it in the past couple of weeks, but yeah, I might bring that in there. Yes, also I've just realised there is some filtered message requests asking for the Discord link. I'm gonna create one that's got like 5 entries, 10 entries, and get back to all you guys that have DM'd me about it. I just didn't want to keep creating individual codes, but I'm going to create a code and bring you all in at once. So if you have DM'd me listening to the podcast about the Discord, I'm getting back to you this week. So yeah,
we'll bring you in, but we're doing it at a filter level now.
Yep, we are indeed. So Jake's doing his streams over on his channel, him chatting whilst driving a truck and crashing into barriers. Quite fun.
Pretty much.
As we said, the Discord is available. Get in touch if you want that. Membership options below. Click join if you are on YouTube. Lots of membership options available for the channel. But that's the housekeeping out the way. Let's get into the bread and butter of the show. And this week, the first writing is from Hubert. No, is it Nongrim? I've never actually said it. It's Hubdub. It's Hubdub. It's Hubdub. But he asked a very pivotal question this week to start off the Talking Wednesday podcast, and that is flip-flops or Crocs?
I'd rather go barefoot.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, to be honest. I haven't worn Crocs since I was like 7, and we were down at Perranporth, in Cornwall, and it was the year that the flooding was happening as well.
Oh, right.
And the tides were just all over the place. And I remember it came in really quickly one day that everybody was on the beach.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous because the tide just came in when it never usually comes in.
Whoosh!
Yeah, and not that fast, but it was like, hang on, why is everyone moving from down there? It's because it kept moving in.
Yeah.
And it filled up where they've got like this little lake path, and I just remember losing one of my Crocs in there.
Oh,
but that's
Croc.
It's one of my, because we always used to, there's a thing called a weaver fish. Do you know what a weaver fish is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
If you ever take your little one swimming, there's in the sea or surfing or something, there's a chance that if you go down in this country somewhere, you will come across the weaver fish. Nasty little buggers, right?
Oh! I think I stood on one in Norfolk when I was young.
Right. So, If you don't know what the weaver fish is, ladies and gentlemen, they are a fish that gets drawn in with the tide, and they sit underneath the sand, and on their sort of like the top of them, their sort of fins on the top, whatever the thing is, they've got basically toxic spikes, and you will step on them as you're walking into the shallow ends of the sea. Most likely, and it'll pierce your foot and poison your foot. And it's like a piercing ache. It's like a sting, basically. Yeah. But you've to get rid of it, you've got to go to a lifeguard and then put your foot in hot water.
Yeah, I did stand on one of them, and that is awful. And I remember doing it. I was like 13. I was like, I'm never going near the sea again.
Well, we ended up wearing Crocs in the sea because of that. You know, we ended up eventually going to those shoes that you could like zip up with wetsuits and stuff like that. But we don't wear wetsuits when we go in. Come on, we're British. It can be like -degrees in the sea and we're jumping in now. I don't care if I go all like goosebumpy and part red and you could slap my arm and the handprint would stay there for the next 2 to 6 business days.
We like seasides, and we like whenever we get a chance to go near a seaside, it's the sea. We're going to go play in the sea.
That is exactly it.
And then all the locals who live nearby go, British couple, British family. Oh, not, because they're not nowhere near it. They've gone for some scones and jam.
At least you say scones correctly.
I thought I was going to get one then.
No. God, no. With it being spooky season, this is a write-in spooky season that you can tell Sophie wrote this in. She went, with it being spooky season, as in Halloween coming up, what is your ultimate Halloween movie playlist?
Ooh. Thing is, I don't have one because I just watch a lot of random Halloween films anyway. But I like lots of really bad Japanese dub stuff.
Like?
Oh, you put me off spot now.
It doesn't have tentacles, does it, Jake?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, I did watch The Ring back in the day, like badly dubbed, because I couldn't find an English version, and that was awesome.
The Ring used to give me quite a few, because I watched The Ring way too young. The Ring's terrifying. You never want to watch TV again. Well, I don't really like horror films. At Halloween, I like to watch the sillier films, really. Like, I don't know, I'd crack on. Nowadays, it's like we're going to watch The Muppets Haunted Mansion this Halloween, because it's that new one on Disney. We're going to see that. And we're also like, there's a chance I'm going to put Scooby-Doo the Witch's Ghost on. Do you remember Scooby-Doo the Witch's Ghost?
I do.
You better do.
There's a big chance that we're probably going to have a Nightmare Before Christmas on, even though it's a Christmas film, technically. But
it's not, though, is it?
No, the director came out and said it was a Christmas film a couple of years ago.
Right.
But it's not, you're right, but I'm going on what I've heard. But I like a lot of the silly action horror films as well.
I like Beetlejuice. We'll probably watch Beetlejuice.
The thing is, Sarah's that much away from watching stuff. She's got this one bloke who just plays Phasmophobia and she just watches that now. And I'm sat there, shall we do something? Like, well, you can play Far Cry 6, I'm going to play Phasmophobia. I'm going to watch Phasmophobia. Like, okay, fine with me.
That's the modern day though, isn't it? Like, well, I watch a stream, you go play a game, you know, that's the life of it. But no, we're watching the Haunted Mansion. I've never really liked horror films because a lot of them are about how to make you jump scare and stuff. I think the last time I watched horror films when they came out was, do you remember when that film The Strangers came out?
Yes.
That was like when I still watched horror films as they came out.
Yeah,
that was around the last sort of time.
I did have a mate who used to have them all the time, and like we'd just watch horror films, and I was like, do you not get bored of this after a while? Because it's all he would watch.
Yeah.
Like, you give him something else, he's like, no, I like this. And then he'll watch an action film and he'll jump out because, like, somebody just got stabbed or something. Like, you watch horror films.
I just don't.
Not my cup of tea at times.
No, I'm not really a film guy anymore, which is terrible coming from an acting background. Like, I pretty much prefer stories being told over a TV series and being able to go in depth on the backstory and have a build up to it. But I also still do like the encapsulated film, but I don't go and see films as much anymore. That is a
I don't think many people watch films anymore because it's just so damn expensive.
It's just in response to the question, it would be just more the laid back Halloween stuff, the funnier stuff that'd
Bit
be on
silly.
my playlist now. Yeah. Anyway, should we get into the Sheffield Wednesday part, the Talking Wednesday? Technically the Sheffield Wednesday podcast, but whatever. Who needs that? Who needs that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
We're in League One. We're all tired. So, on Tuesday the 29th of October, Sheffield Wednesday played Cambridge United at Cambridge's pad. Wednesday lined up with Peacock Farrell back in for Wildsmith as well and keeping that there, which controversial in itself because many people said Wildsmith didn't do too much wrong. Then it was Hunt, Palmer, Iorfa, Johnson keeping the place, Brown, Deli Basharu, Bannon, Adeniran, Berahino and Gregory. What was your take on this one, Punk?
They outplayed us for most of that first half. They
First
really
half,
did. They absolutely outplayed us. And like you said on Twitter, you had 3 men round you, still got a diving header. What the hell? I don't see what Wildsmith did wrong to get dropped. The only thing I can think it's in his loan agreement.
In Bailey Peacock Farrell's, yeah. That's what we said last week, innit? If he was going to get dropped.
It got to be because they outplayed us in the first half. Second half, we woke up, went at them, and really gave it a good go.
Second half was decent because I was streaming this one. I didn't think I've been the one to say Johnson doesn't get his place, but even in the second half, Johnson looked all right as well, and he made a few things happen, which was I've not seen from him before. So,
but the person we've been calling to play on this podcast stepped up and he had a blinder. Deli Basharu had an absolute blinder. That kid. When he runs, people bounce off it, and I love it. I love seeing a midfielder who can run, attack, physical, not scared of the challenge, and then get a shot away. He really did. And if Matt comes back, he's going to get that shirt off Deli. He's not going to get a chance because Deli's rocking that shirt at the minute.
That's what should happen, yeah, because as you said, we've been saying it for a while. There's a joke, if you watch my FIFA series as well, Deli Basharu, remember the name because he scored an absolute screamer for us in one of the games there, and I've been trying to use him a little bit more. But in real life, genuinely, he is one to give a focus to, and that will link into obviously the next match we talk about a little bit more. But we came back from 1-0 down against Cambridge, so at the end of the day, I saw this on Twitter after the match as well. Cambridge fans thinking they said they felt quite lucky to get away with it in the end.
Which is credit to us, but it doesn't make it feel any less because we're not managing to take those chances. Like the Morecambe game, we outplayed them, didn't take our chances. And it's that whole thing, if we can start creating the chances and taking them, we'd be flying. But we actually showed a bit of heart. We went for it. He changed the formation right in near the end as well, which he went to a 4-4-2, and we looked a lot better.
Yeah,
we looked a lot better. And it's like he's done it a couple of times now where he could go, I'll see. It's like he's doing murmurings and going, I'll try it, I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And it just shows you that we can see it, and he obviously can see it, but he's stuck with this certain formation playing out from back. How many times, and we'll get onto this in the Lincoln game, but we played it out from back, and everyone knows what to do. Just crowd us. Just get behind us, because we can't play it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's move on to that Lincoln game. So Wednesday played Lincoln on Saturday, lining up with, again, Peacock Farrell in net, Hunt, Palmer, Iorfa, Johnson, Brown, Adeniran, Deli Basharu, Berahino, and Gregory this time. So, slightly... Oh, no, it's the exact same lineup. Of course it was. Was it? Yes. Yes, I'm looking at them too right now. Yeah, we started... for some reason, I didn't think we started Berahino in the match before it, but yes, we did. So he went for an unchanged 11, showed faith in them, because the one thing that's been lamented with him as criticism
Patterson started versus Cambridge.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. I'm looking at the team sheet now. Patterson started versus Cambridge.
Am I about to... Are you sure? Yeah, I know Patterson was on the bench. I watched this game on the internet. Some technical difficulties here as we work this one out. Are you sure?
Check your phone.
I'm checking my phone. Podcast listeners, I'm checking my phone to see how wrong I am. Can I just say this is in the document provided to me by... Oh, God. I thought that was wrong. So my instincts were right, yeah. Because I didn't think Berahino started.
When you said it, I was like, that doesn't sound right. I'm sure that doesn't
No.
sound right.
Apologies. Clearly the brain's gone this week. But yeah, he did start against Lincoln though, didn't he? Berahino.
Yes, he did.
So that's what's happened there. What's happened is in our document, for some reason, the same team is being pasted across. So I can't fully trust that was the lineup for Cambridge. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to add some things in there, and that went wrong. We got a draw. But the Lincoln one, that was the lineup that I just said there. The difference was, with this Lincoln, the shape was a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we did this... If you've seen the video going around on Twitter, we did this stupid thing where we're playing it out from the back, and Chris Maguire played for Lincoln now. Do you remember how much of the wind-up merchant he was when he was a Wednesday player? Yeah. So he was sniffing, and we don't have the confidence to do that formation. I'm sorry, we don't. It's something that really annoyed me, and Dunkley got asked on Twitter if he was injured. Like, I'm not injured, but this is what the team manager wanted to go for and stuff, so I go with it. Anytime we play for out, we're too slow. We're too slow when we start games. We either start 10 to a dozen, which we started for like the first 2 minutes, and then we backed off and then let them come into it a little bit and kept on letting them in. Berahino had a great chance, but he needs to now start taking these chances because he's there to take the chances. It's all right going more nose him and stuff, he'll put her arm around. Unless he starts bearing these chances, when someone like Windass comes back, he may not have a chance if Windass starts fast and starts how he did. And it's interesting how he played because second half we looked horrible. We looked absolutely shocking. We just didn't play well. And it's like they hadn't played together for a little bit. It was slow, it was laboured. We didn't have wing in the midfield, which was nice because Delhi did all right, but there's still little bits that get me. Second half, we woke up again. We are a team that can't do 45 minutes of football. We do 15 in each half, I think, where we do 15 minutes of great football and then we drop off. The goal, again, fantastic work by Delhi Basharu. Absolute great work.
Adenir and getting it in from that angle as well.
Yeah, Adenir and finish with just how he finished that. Also, interesting fact for you, Cambridge, when we played Cambridge on Tuesday, Delhi Basharu scored. On Wednesday night, his brother scored for Reading.
Yeah, well, the Basharoos are doing it. I want to just do a quick reaction before I talk into my things here. So, yeah, completely wrong about that first lineup for Cambridge. It doesn't really matter, but it was Farrell, Hunt, Iorfa, Dunkley, because I knew Dunkley played as well, and my brain wasn't going right there. Palmer, Delhi Basharu, Bannon, Wing, Johnson, Patterson, Gregory. The reason I wanted to talk about that is because Dunkley didn't start against Lincoln, and we didn't really play two recognised centre-backs.
No. But it was three at the back again.
Yes.
But two. Moore does say in his thing, Johnson is more of an attacking player. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah, so, right, so please tell me then, where did Iorfa start his career?
Yep.
Right back.
Yep.
Johnson plays left wing back. Hunt's a right back. Palmer's a right back. Tell me what centre back is on that team sheet.
None. But for Iorfa, technically. So
we've got a shaky defence, and you've just played natural fullbacks.
To be fair, if you're talking about centre backs, if Iorfa's our main centre back, he's the only one we've got on Dunkley at the minute. Because we are short.
I agree. Iorfa's now the centre back there, but even if you're just doing that, you can't play Johnson in. It just doesn't work.
He struggled. He did struggle a lot. He looked good at times, but again, with this Wednesday team, concentrate for 90 sodding minutes. 80th minute, again, 10 minutes near the end, goal.
Put Patterson at centre-back.
And it was another set piece. Oh, yeah, he could do great well for you.
Carry on.
But again, another set piece that we don't defend. And to be fair, Peacock Fowl should be doing better with that. With it coming down.
How many times have we said that this season now, mate?
Yeah.
I have got to say now, because I'm usually the one that's on the side of... What did I say? I said we can judge it after these 2 matches, 2 big matches,
Yep.
2 probably must-win matches or must-not-lose matches.
We
Yes,
needed
we are undefeated.
all the points.
We needed.
out of
I
it.
said we needed 4. Right.
Yep.
We needed 4 this week. The first time I think Darren Moore's got it completely wrong was Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I can see at the Cambridge match, I could see us turning it around. I can see that I get frustrated with his tactics sometimes, but I can see the turnaround and I can see him clicking things together. Lincoln, we didn't learn from it, and we were lucky to not get battered.
You know where we actually improved it in the Lincoln game? 5 minutes when he brought Shadipo and Corbeanu on. They absolutely came on and were busting a gut to trying to get something. You brought on natural wingers and it worked. It's not rocket science. We can see this is the thing. I'm still with the camp. We stick with Darren Moore, he's the right man for it. But these tactics were completely wrong. All the people calling for more and saying, you've got to go and saying Ryan Lowe. Ryan Lowe isn't leaving top of the league Plymouth to come to mid-table Wednesday. So
No.
you can throw as much money as you like. And if you're going to do that, think how much money we're going to have to pay more and his staff and all the people he brought in on. It won't be cheap. So we've got to stick with him. The thing is, Moore came out with some good stuff in the thing about what did the player think about the booing. He said, me as the player, it spurred me on. He also said other things about how it was and stuff. But time and time again, we can all see that this tactic, the playing from the back, doesn't work. We have pacey wingers in Wing and Shadipo and Corbeanu who like to get forward.
I slightly disagree. Right, here's my disagreement with
Go.
it. It can work if you know where to distribute it. Right. The problem is our distribution at the midfield or to the wingers, right? You know, if you're going to play 3 at the back and you're going to play it out, you need to be able to have Iorfa breaking it out and going forward.
Yeah.
The problem is the play out from the back thing for us is every bloody ball goes backwards.
Yeah.
Right? Or
and if it gets to the midfield, it's sideways, then backwards, then back to the side. There's no.
And that's when you're adding
fluidness.
pressure on yourself. Right.
Twice.
Some of these games have cried out for just get stuck into it proper League One style.
Yeah.
Right? And
Hit
that
it
is
long.
what's frustrating me now.
Yeah. And the thing is, twice Lincoln nearly got in. First half and second half, we played it out from the back and we were just dilly-dallying with the ball. There was a clearance that Iorfa did, and he just hung up in the air and he's just watching it, going, and it dropped down and so he goes, oh, crap, there's a Lincoln player there, I must get rid of it. It's just not concentrating it. It's this kind of thing where if we can concentrate and if we can get players scoring, because we go from one game where we make a lot of chances and then to another game where we make none. We actually set up like the away team at home at the weekend, which I don't get. And Bannon, as much as I like Bannon had a massive go at Jack Hunt for something Bannon did wrong. And he like properly ripped into him. The thing is, I like Bannon as a player. I don't think he's right for captain because I don't see any leaders on the pitch at times. And it's a young squad and that is slightly irritating. If this is going to work, people need to step up and help out. So if you've got Bannon who's the captain, Iorfa steps up at the back saying, right, come on, let's do this. Because that's a young back line. Palmer as well. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Gregory...
I mean, it's not a young back line, mate. It's not. Look at the ages. They're not a young back line.
I didn't mean young back line. I meant young team in terms of like some of the players in the midfield.
The back line is...
It's not a back line, it's all five. It's all fullbacks.
That's the thing. It's not a young back line at all. It's, the one thing that can come out of it is the players aren't taking the excuses anymore. No. Right? They're not trying to come out with excuses. Adam Aaron came out and talked how he was disappointed. He's happy to get a goal, but he's sick of it.
Gregory came out and said similar.
Yeah. I want them to say, no, we're fed up now. Because the thing is, you do realise how this is what I want to say to Wednesday fans. You do realise how on the cusp of being a great side we are.
Yeah, it's that.
You cut out the stupid ball watching and the concentration, the stupid ball watching and the concentration. You cut that out, which obviously is a big deal. But we have got so much there, and it's frustrating.
This is the problem with a rebuild season, though. you're going to get there. The only thing we got is this lack of concentration isn't something that's been brewing just this season. This has been brewing for like the last 2. And there was some good stats that went around that in like the last time we came from behind to win away with 2016 Birmingham. The last time we did it at home was Brentford.
Christ.
Do you remember who scored that goal?
No.
Gary Hooper, when the fan gave it all the big I am at the Wednesday fans and they just turned around and went, nah.
This is
2006. That's when we still had Carlos.
Carlos.
2006.
That long ago.
Yep.
Mate. Well, at least with Claude, we didn't lose at Cambridge. We clawed back
we can get a point for both of these, considering how inconsistent we are. It's good. In one sense, there was something that went around saying that Darren Moore wanted to make us defensively solid, and he's done that. He's actually starting to make us a lot more defensive because we don't leak goals. We still something stupid, got like fifth clean sheet or something like that in the league. So we're not getting battered, but if we come against, you know what's going to happen though, don't you? We're going to come against like Sunderland and do really well.
That's what Wednesday do though. We seem to underestimate certain sides. Lincoln were ones that I knew we were going to be up against with, and it was crying out for a Maguire goal, really, wasn't it? I'm just glad he didn't score, because that would have hurt me a little bit, because I have a soft spot.
I like Maguire, same.
Yeah,
there was something about Maguire winding the opposition fans up I absolutely loved.
Yeah, definitely.
We do miss that a little bit with the Fuente team. There was a good thing on Twitter that I kept on looking at. There's a bloke who's actually got a poll going, and he tweets every time Barry Bannon doesn't hit the first man or hit somebody in the box. It's like up to like 58 or something stupid.
They watch my streams. That's all I bloody say. Right. Let's move on from that.
But we need to start winning
Lincoln,
games.
I'll take a point, but Cambridge should have been. We should have won it.
Absolutely won that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying we deserve to win it on paper either. I'm saying that we
played well. We played well in that last bit.
That second half, we could have won it.
Yeah.
So, League One roundup. Let's just talk about what's happened in the picture in the league. So that Tuesday night, Accrington Stanley, 3-2 at Charlton there. So Charlton lost to Accrington Stanley. It's this league. Cheltenham.
But that was the end of Atkinson. Atkinson got sacked.
Mm-hmm. So that they are pulling the trigger in League One. Cheltenham beat Morecambe 3-1. Cheltenham are coming up for us. Gillingham beat Doncaster 1-0. Doncaster again falling there. Yep. Sunderland looking the part this year. It might be their year. 4-0 against Crewe Alexandra, and that was away from home. Oxford beat Shrewsbury 2-0. Ipswich, kicking it on a little bit, beat Portsmouth 4-0 there. And then Wimbledon beat Lincoln earlier in the week. Rotherham and Wycombe drew.
Where Ipswich are now in the table?
I'm going to get to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cambridge drew with Wednesday that night. MK Dons beat Wigan 2-1, and Burton beat Fleetwood 1-0, while Plymouth, on a very rainy night in Plymouth, beat Bolton 3-0. Did you see that goal that was going around?
You know what it felt like? It felt like when you were at school back in the day when the PE teacher went, right, next goal with it, just go.
Yeah, it was pretty much, you couldn't, for anybody who hasn't seen it, they were basically, the keeper ran out to it, and about 3 Plymouth players were running onto it, and you couldn't kick it more than a yard in front of you.
Yeah. I don't know how that game carried on.
Well, no, the problem was it was fine up until like apparently the 85th minute or something. It all came down, and that's when they got the other goal. So they eventually got a goal after about 4 attempts of trying to hit it into the net from close range.
Interesting thing with Bolton as well. Bolton this week had lost their club captain. He'd gone on a free transfer to Stockport in non-league due to them and him and the gaffer having a falling out. And a lot of Bolton fans are like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
They're a little bit concerned now.
Let's talk about the Saturday results then. So Doncaster beat Cheltenham 3-2, so they turned it around a little bit there. Ipswich winning streak again, 2-1 against Fleetwood. Wycombe beat Crewe 2-1. We obviously drew with Lincoln. Sunderland actually lost to Charlton. The new manager not new manager. They've not got anyone in yet, is it? It's caretaker.
Caretaker, yeah, Johnny Jackson.
Yeah, so it was the bounce there, beating Sunderland at home. So we talk about Sunderland finding their feet there. A little bit of an upset, but you can get that. Charlton are being unpredictable in that in that spell between managers. Oxford United beat Burton 3-1. Shrewsbury beat Cambridge 4-1, who we drew to in the week.
You know what's really annoying is that you're looking at this and you're like, Shrewsbury, what we got to draw with them? You're looking at the going, draw, got to draw with them. What the hell? Why is other teams able to do this?
Bolton drew with Gillingham. Accrington Stanley drew with Portsmouth. Rotherham beat MK Dons 3-0. Morecambe drew with Plymouth 1-1. And Wigan then beat AFC Wimbledon 2-0. So Wigan beat Wimbledon and we beat Wigan.
Yeah.
You know,
just
so it's one of those, it's just the way
Also,
way
did you see that Bolton game was a Kieran Lee 91st minute winner?
I didn't see that, but go on, lad. Right. So, as we've spoken about now, at the summit of League One is Plymouth Argyle with 30 points after 15 matches played. However, Wycombe are also on 30 points. Wycombe looking the real deal in points-wise this season. They've only played 14. Wigan on 28 points in third with 13 played, the same as Sunderland. Rotherham on 27 points, making fifth, and Oxford United are on 24 points in that sixth position. Wednesday are on 21 points, 14 matches played, quite like. However, we've got a game in hand on the team above us, Burton, who are on 22 points. And let's just say if we play that game in hand, there's a chance we could creep into the playoffs, but it would rely on Oxford losing if you were to take it now.
Now, Ipswich, a couple of games ago, were right near the bottom. They have gone on a run and they're 10th. If Wednesday can go on a run, just think.
They're 1 point behind Wednesday after going on a run. That's what we're saying. It's so close, and if you can turn it on, it could be on. That's the thing. That's why it's like, I do see when some fans are saying we need to act now because it's still salvageable this season. But it's also still relegation worthy this season. So we can't go too stupid with it. You got to be careful. Some people were saying bring Megson home, and I was like, let it die.
Well, I've seen Bruce, I've seen Megson, I've seen Ryan Lowe.
We've seen all sorts. Let's get into the news, okay? So there's not a lot of news this week. Josh Render has joined Grantham Town on a 1-month loan deal. He's gone to link up with Carlton Palmer there.
Yep.
Because he manages that side. So he's gone non-league to get some game time. Hopefully he does well, comes back for us. Now, this one. The Athletic, this is from the Molyneux News, actually, but they're talking about a report in The Athletic that was talking about Theo Corbenu's loan situation at Wednesday. Now, they say their facts that they bring in is the Canadian teenager is yet to start a league game for the Owls since joining them during the summer. There is acknowledgement on both sides that Corbenu needs to improve, especially in terms of the work he does for the team. Corbenu reportedly had 3 loan options during the summer window. They were Wednesday and their League One rivals, Crewe and Lincoln. The report says that if Corbenu does not start playing between now and the winter window, he could well move mid-season. Wolves have the option to recall Corbenu during January and potentially send him out elsewhere. Now, Moore was talking to the Star, and he said that he's heard nothing from Wolves about a possible recall. He says, and quote, Theo hasn't featured more because of the timing of the games. The players have been ahead of him at the time. He's making a transition from academy football into first-team football on the front line. There have been pieces of the game we've been teaching him at Sheffield Wednesday, and he will play football for us. He will start for us. We've been doing some incredible work with him, end quote. Now, I get this because I'm not on the give him so much more game time. Yeah, I'd like to see him a little bit more substitute appearances. But against Mansfield, I just thought he did a lot of stepovers and then ran into his man.
The thing is, I like Corbenu as a player. He gets going, he's exciting, but he hasn't got that finish ball in yet. And I understand why he's not starting yet. And the thing is, if you put him on and he starts whipping the balls in and they're not going into where they're meant to be, he'll get on the back. And Moore's right with this. Academy football, completely different to getting first-team football.
He came here to get kicked, right?
Yeah.
And Wolves aren't happy that he's not getting kicked.
But that's the thing. I don't think it is. I think Wolves are actually okay with it because it was only the Wigan game since Moore spoke to him, and he said there's nothing that's been said where anything. The only other thing I can also think of that there have been murmurs like when Dunkley did that press conference conference where he said, I just had a row with Theo. And it sounds like there might be a bit of a, well, I'm Premiership. It's like, well, you're in League One, mate. So this is what we do in League One and this is how it's going to be.
So explain that Dunkley situation a little bit more.
So Dunkley came into a interview with the Star. I think it was Star. It was BBC Radio Sheffield. He said, and he literally walked to, sorry, I'm a bit angry. I just had a row with Wandsworth Whig kids. And he'd gone, Wandsworth Whig kids? Yeah, I'd had a row with Theo Corbinu. And as he said, so I'm not in the best mood to do this, so I apologise. So he apologised, in fact, but it's like a pro just come in and say he'd had a row with him before he's about to do a presser and he told the presser. That says a lot to me. And it's not like there's like Dunkley, I offer the Wolves, they got Wolves connections, so they know it. It's that really weird one, if you know what I mean, where it could be him being told to know where he places from a professional pro. We don't do that, but why would Dunkley come out and say it?
It's the weird thing about that, right, is he speaks well in the media, as all players do now pretty much. Obviously, apart from Dunkley coming out there and going, I've just had a row with Corbinu, but as I've said that. But when Corbinu spoke, and he spoke about waiting for his time, he's come here and he's excited to get game time and stuff like that. If he has come down though with that, I'm an academy, I'm in the national team and all of that sort of thing, not slagging the national team off. Didn't take much to get into that national team. For example, you are playing for a Sheffield Wednesday side at the minute and not getting into the team. That says a lot about the Canadian national team as a whole at the minute.
Yeah.
But actually, he's not been called back up, has he, actually? Fairness?
Interesting fact. Who was our last Canadian player?
I don't do well on these tests, Jake.
Colin Lavery. Lavery's Canadian, technically.
Yeah, but didn't he declare for Northern Ireland or something?
Yeah, but he's technically a Canadian.
Oh, okay.
He did some
Fair
good
enough.
thing there, so yeah.
And then he went to the other side of the city. Maybe Corbinu will do the same, but then again, I want to see more from him, but he needs to come on in these sub appearances now, make these cameos and show a little bit.
Not for like the last 5 minutes.
No, definitely not. No.
He was meant to come on just before the goal. He was all stripped off, ready to come on before the goal. And then the goal went in and we didn't bring him on after that. I thought that was a mistake. I thought, just bring him on anyway. He had a good cross with corners right near the end and he got it in. It's one of these things. If you're not going to start him, give him 45 in the second half to see what he can do. I'd like to see more Shadipo as well. Because Shadipo, been quality, he was really good at Trooping and we didn't see him.
When was that Dunkley presser?
I will find out for you.
Which one was it? Because he got dropped. He got dropped for Lincoln, and obviously Corbinu did feature against Lincoln, so they were sat sharing a bench. I don't know whether it was both of those, but you don't know whether Dunkley's been... Because Dunkley came out on Twitter and said that, because people were going, if you were fit, you'd have played today. We needed you in that back line on the Saturday. And Dunkley came out and said, I'm not injured. I am fighting fit and raring to go. It's disappointing when you're not selected and it hurts, but you've just got to keep going and be professional. That's what he pretty much said. I'm misquoting him slightly there, but that was along the lines of what he said on Twitter. So when was that presser? Do we know?
I'm just having a look now.
No worries, because I think that could have factored into the decision of Dunkley not playing, or because why would you not play? In reference to what we were talking about earlier, we played with only one recognised centre-back against Lincoln. So unless he was sort of trying to go, hey, you need to make sure your professionalism's there at all times. You ain't starting on Saturday. We're going to try something different. You've gone and spoke against.
The big thing for me this week was the fact that how much chance have we given the likes of Delhi, and he's taken it. And it's going to be very hard for someone to take that shirt off him now.
Yeah, I think, well, whether it's relevant to that interview or not, with Dunkley's position there, I think with Corbinu, if he has started to rub some of the players up the wrong way, especially with someone like Dunkley, who seems to be quite part of the core of that group, one of the players that gets on there, he just needs to make sure that he's he's not got that Premier League attitude.
He'll get
And
it out of him.
He will with the team. But I would like to see more from him. He's got the potential there. But do you think he'll get recalled in January? Do you think it could happen?
No. I don't know, because it's mixed messages. I can understand if they did recall him back, but if he goes somewhere else, does he start and then we go, well, that's why he's not in the team, because of Lee's like lack of games and stuff, with the crosses and stuff. Because the thing that he showed when he played against Manfield, great on the ball, got speed, very good. Can't cross.
No, he likes to cut in. He's very much an inverted. It's like he's got the inverted winger trait there. But let's see more from him before we make our judgment fully. I don't think they'll need to loan him because
there's a player there. Let's put it there. There's a very good player.
Is he going to start over Maguire at Lincoln? Not for me.
No.
Crew maybe, but Crew are probably
near the bottom.
Yeah, if you stay at Wednesday, if they're the ones that were in for him and nobody else comes in for him, he sticks around for me.
Yeah. It's just one of those strange ones, isn't it? Where you want to see him do good, but then you've got to think, is it a waste of the loan?
Yeah.
If we're not using him, because we've got a lot of loans in.
You don't need to look up that thing anymore, by the way. No,
I can't find it.
We'll move on. I couldn't find it either, but I do remember hearing about that. I just wanted to get the exact details on it. But if you hadn't heard about it, you have heard about it now. Okay, this is a big one. This one's going to ruffle some feathers.
Oh, okay.
So we got an email into Talking Wednesday. You can email us too. Or the Talking Wednesday podcast at gmail.com for your topics. The email that wrote into us this week was from a Zach, who said, "Afternoon, guys. Just a quick question. Following the tweet from Michael Vaughan, is it Vaughan? Vaughan? I can never say it's Vaughan. Vaughan. I always read it and go, am I saying it right? Would you have Steve Bruce back as manager? This was when he became available, so this was before he got sacked, and obviously it's developed since then. Or would you rather keep Darren Moore and give him time? Would love to know your thoughts. Stay safe, and we're all Wednesday, aren't we?" Now, we have seen...
See ya, bye. No way.
We've seen the fallout of people saying Darren Moore's tactically not got it on. And there's been some portions of the Wednesday fans online saying they would actually take Steve Bruce back. What?
I'm pretty sure if he's going to go anywhere, it might be eyeing up the Man United job. No, I wouldn't.
This is a no, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. And also, why would Chansiri even do it? It'd be like, I love how people got on Twitter and went, look what I just liked. Steve Bruce sat for Newcastle. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
we know what that's like.
Chansiri's son has liked Steve Bruce he liked a post that said Steve Bruce was axed from Newcastle. So if you are unfamiliar with this story, I don't know where you've been, but Sheffield Wednesday had Steve Bruce as their manager not too long ago. Feels like an eternity ago. Yeah, about 6. He came through
February.
He went to go and watch the cricket.
So basically, what happened was during the time when we were appointing, he lost both his mum and dad. Chansiri basically said, "Look, go have some relaxation time. Go get your head right to ready in football. We need you now, but I understand what you're going through. Let's just give you a break and give you that time and compassion, and be like not like most football clubs. Normally, most football clubs go, no, you're coming in now if I'm hiring you, or you're not having the job. We gave him that. He went and watched cricket, like you said.
He then came in.
Remember, he's the reason we got Dunkley.
Yeah, he left us in that season. The end of that season, it was positive because we were seeing the team start to change underneath him, right? And he left us with a few points off the playoff pack, right?
Yeah.
We accepted that season that if he'd have probably come when he was originally hired by Wednesday and Chansiri hadn't give that time, we'd have probably been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We accepted that with the thought of, we're going to get a rebuild this summer. So on comes the summer. He goes to Owls in the Park. He talks about how it's been a lovely turnout and everybody was there, and
that bloody dog.
And he was going on about how it's going to be a great season for Wednesday and that sort of stuff. And then we go and see him at pre-season. I go to the Lincoln game, by the way, where it's all kicked off. because there's been rumours that morning that Steve Bruce has been in contact with Newcastle. A fan runs onto the pitch and goes, "What's going on, Steve?" Pretty much in his face.
Yes.
All that kicking off. He goes in the interview and goes, "Well, I thought it was only right to go and speak to them." And he goes and has a chat, right?
You're missing the walking the dog bit after pre-season.
Oh, yeah, that's the fun bit as well, yeah. So, basically, go on then, Jake. Tell us about the walking the dog
So basically, you
bit.
get asked what's the whole situation with Newcastle, what's going on. So I'm just going to go home and walk my dog. I don't know anything about Newcastle. I'm just going to go take it for a nice walk and then I'll be fine. So
he actually ended up tucking it.
Newcastle?
He took it up on Tyneside, right?
Yeah.
And then he decided that he was going to go and have a chat with Mike Ashley while he was there. So, yeah, he then becomes Newcastle
with
manager.
a big bottle direct mug with a cup of tea.
Wednesday do not give him permission to go.
No.
Right? He just announces that he's the new... Newcastle announced before we've even okayed it. We never okay this deal, by the way. Newcastle announced that Steve Bruce is their new manager.
You know what I liked about this, though?
Go on.
Was the fact that we saw Chansiri properly go, right, get here, I'm having you. If you're taking all three Steves, I want some cash. Like, we got 4 million or so for...
Just Steve on his own.
Yeah.
No, we got a couple. I think we got about 6.5.
Yeah, we got 4 million just for Steve. Like, we're one for like setting the barriers and stuff. Like, we were the first one to get the £1 million player in Trevor Francis. So I thought at that point, are we going to start having manager transfers and we just hit the big smash? 6 million.
Well, Steve, obviously, he went and Wednesday turned around and went, "We're disappointed to hear that our manager, Steve Bruce, has just been appointed as another," because we'd never said it was fine to go. So that's when he got into court, all of those things. They did a deal. We got Jacob Murphy that season. We know how that went. Jacob Murphy was great for us, but we
fell in love with another lone player.
Yeah, but we were never really right after all of that. And it was quite a rebuild job because a lot of the players had bought into what Bruce was saying, and then he kind of was just left adrift. And we all wanted Houghton when Bruce went. We didn't get Houghton.
He turned it down. He said, "I'm waiting for a Premiership job."
Yeah, he was even waiting for a Premier League job, in case Celtic didn't come calling, because Puck still doesn't know the difference. But then we ended up getting Gary Monk down the line, and it was just completely different philosophies to a Bruce side. Yeah. It left us in such a situation, and then go on to Tony Pulis, go on to the days, and Wednesday relegated and now a League One side. It started with the downfall then for me.
But we never ever really properly replaced Carlos.
No,
we brought Lukai in for a season, and that didn't work.
But Steve Bruce was that.
He was. We were about to have it. This was like, right, he knows how to set a team. He knows how to get out of the Championship. We're set. Yep. You look at the deal he did for Iorfa, 200k we paid for him. He bought in a lot of players that we needed. And you could see something was building. You could see what he was trying to do. And at times, if we had that concentration that we knew we were lacking at times in that period, because we were lacking it then, because he was saying that we're throwing silly points away and he don't understand why, but we need to get to the root of it. I am getting sick and tired of how many times I hear our managers say that, need to get to the root of what this issue is. But
I still don't want Steve Bruce.
No.
I don't care how much. Right. I'm going as far to say here as Darren Moore could have us in the bottom of the league right now, and I still wouldn't want Steve Bruce back. I want Darren Moore to be sacked, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't want Steve Bruce to come back into this club. I don't think he's coming back into football.
No.
But the distaste and the disrespect he showed Sheffield Wednesday when he went. He had a comfortable job where the fans backed him here and went to a club where he knew he was going to get stick.
Yep. Actually, do you want Steve Bruce? That's one of your best videos.
Yeah. Well, no, it is actually. When Steve Bruce left, it is one of my best channel videos. But he, I don't want him back.
No,
I don't want him anywhere near this club. I don't know why if you're a Wednesday fan that wants him back, also he wouldn't come back, and I don't want him back, and I don't know why it's been brought.
Can you imagine how that conversation would go with Chad Series?
It wouldn't happen.
No.
And also, the same fans that are saying he should come back are the same fans that said that we've never been able to sort it out under Chansiri. And Steve Bruce, they're actually defending him, going, Steve Bruce saw what Chansiri was doing to the club, so he went out and it was like, right, okay, so you've pulled that out your arse, and now you're saying that you want the same owner to hire Steve Bruce back and it's going to go differently, is it?
Yeah.
I just somehow hate every fibre of this with every being fibre in my body, right?
But it's like what I said earlier. People saying, "Oh, let it go for Ryan Lowe." Pardon me. If we were going to do that, we should have done that last season when we got more in. Lowe is not going to lead top of the table Plymouth to come to us because he played for one season. He has got an officiation with us and he does like us. And he has said it was a hard game to play against Wednesday. But you look at what he's done at Plymouth, it taken him a season to build it, and now they're showing it. We can't be that kind of thing. I don't think we need to go up straight away, but it may be a case where we have to do that. Moore needs at least a year. Give him at least a year, but then we can't keep chopping and changing because we've allowed Moore to bring in his own people in now, and that's something we haven't let anyone do.
We have. We let Monk
do it, but
do it eventually. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Though we let Bruce do it, and then we didn't let anyone do it for ages. We didn't let Monk do it for ages. Then we let Monk do it, and then sacked him a couple of months later. Now Moore's come in with the whole team. It's going to take time, but the one thing I don't want is bringing these chances like Steve Bruce, who would leave at the opportunity of any other club again. Bear in mind the fact he wouldn't come to us. I despair what Wednesday fans sometimes do when things get a bit rough.
You know what I've got going through my head, the scenario, don't you? Steve Bruce come back, right? And we're doing really well. And Bristol City has sacked Nigel Pearson. Oh, I like Bristol. I'm going for a dog walk. No, come here.
No, he's always like Bristol, you know. He'll be like, I'm actually a boyhood Bristol fan, you'll find. Oh, they're not Rovers. No, I love that city. They're actually my club, you'll find. Steve Bruce, no, never again. I didn't have any sympathy for him. All the media going, oh, it's sad, isn't it? Just because he's soft-spoken. And as a Wednesday fan, I had no sympathy for him. The abuse, obviously, it gets to it. Nobody deserves that.
No.
But in terms of like a footballing decision, it's not sad that he's lost his job. He never should have gone in the first place. He was never permitted by the club that employed him in the first place. And he left a club in a club as big as Sheffield Wednesday.
Before the season.
Newcastle respected us and felt... Because if you think about it, right? If things had gone a little bit differently, Wednesday could be in position to get a takeover to the level of Newcastle's. Do you know what I mean? And their fan base sort of respected that a club of our size should not be getting treated by Steve Bruce.
When Bruce left, a lot of fans were like, we were hoping we were going to get you up because you're a great fan guy. You're really good. It's a good way day. It's good kind of thing. The thing that you've got is, when things like this happen, when the Twitter face and everything is very toxic at the minute because people don't like patience in football. They want it now, straight away, get it done. The only difference is because of Lincoln game, especially with the tactic, we can see things. You can see what you're trying to do, but it's not the right player to do so. I always say to people, it's the same thing with Chansiri out. It's the same with the Moore out. Who the hell do you bring in? We haven't got that pulling power like we did in the Championship.
Not
Steve Bruce.
Bruce. End of. Should we move on?
Yep. With that, we've managed to get the podcast to an hour.
On a slow news week. Thank you, Steve. That's the only time you're ever going to hear it. Right. We don't actually drag the podcast out. As we said, we've been doing a lot ones that have been less than an hour recently because if there's nothing to talk about, we don't talk about it. However, I do want to talk about this week. Who do we need to build this squad around? Because we've been asked this quite a bit, right? And I want to pick out some players. So I'm going to read you the Wednesday squad, doing the best I can. So we've got Bailey Peacock-Farrell's alone, so obviously not him. But then we've got Wildsmith, Render, Jackson, Dawson. If we're going to build this squad around him, who do you think out of those keepers do we need to bring? For me, we need to bring a keeper in.
Yeah, it needs to be a keeper. Definitely.
Rather than build a squad around. So I don't think we build a squad around any of the current keepers we've got.
The youngsters need to go on loan and play football. constantly, and it's a fight between Dawson and Wildsmith. It's probably going to be Dawson.
Depending on if he comes back and keeps his extra form, yeah.
Mm.
So, defence, we've got Iorfa, Dunkley, Hunt, Brennan, who's obviously out on loan, Palmer, Brown, Gibson, and Hutchinson. Now, I don't see Brown
Gibson's alone. Well,
oh yeah, he is. So we wouldn't look to build a squad around him. Of course, he is. Iorfa for me is the defender you build the defence around and you play to his strengths. If he's staying with Wednesday, you get defenders that can do then. If he's a ball playing defender, you focus it around him and you focus it. If we're going to play it out from the back, give him that freedom to go forward. If you're going to play a 3 at the back, you need 2 solid, no nonsense centre backs behind him, right? And let him come out through the middle. Or if you're going to play a 4 at the back, you need a leader next to him. You need someone
can we just clone like a young Reader Johnson?
That sort of player, honestly.
That's what we need, isn't it?
I think if you're going to play Brown at left back over time, that's okay. Can you have an attacking option there? You put Palmer at right back, but you don't build a long-term squad out of him. Brown could become a really good attacking left back for us, but I think then on the right-hand side, you've got to go for someone a little bit more defensive.
January window, we need to get a right back in. Someone a little bit younger.
Yeah, I think that too. Somebody who can develop as more of a defensive right back, even though a lot of fullbacks want to go forward now. The midfield, it's easy. The player that you put on every team sheet to build a team around now for me is Deli Basharu. Okay, so Deli Basharu in that midfield and Adeniran. Those two.
Those two are already cementing a place already, and they're showing what it can do. And Bannon getting closer and closer to age where I think this is probably going to be his last club.
Yeah.
Give or take. And Wing, I wouldn't want him back at the rate he's playing now. At the start, I would have said yes, but he's not there for me. Alex Hunt, I would like to bring back and see him play. He sounds like he's having quite a good time in non-league. I know it's not the same, but it might have him that experience to play. And when he had played for Wednesday, he looked decent.
Who do you play as the cam? Fizz or Adeniran?
Fizz.
Have Adeniran behind him, have Hunt behind him, have Deli Basher in front of him. That could be a spine to work with, you know?
Yeah.
If Hunt can come back and he can show some form. Up front, Gregory's obviously not going to be around for ages.
No.
I still think we've got a striker in Josh Windass if he can come back firing.
Did you see what he was wearing at the match?
No, I didn't.
Have you not seen this?
I've not.
God. He was there with Kenny Miller. Because they used to play together, didn't they? Thingy.
For what it's worth, I was working at the Lincoln match. It's tragic for me, but I've had to watch it on.
Out.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I can't even really see it. It's just a puffer coat, isn't it? What is it?
Hang on, I'll send it to you. Anyway, carry on.
You've thrown me off now, punk.
Windass is the one that, if he comes back fit, we could do something to build around him.
I was saying oh dear. I said oh dear because I thought he was wearing a Newcastle coat for a second, and I was like, what? And then I realised that it wasn't, and you were just showing me a puffer coat. So, yeah, I think we need a striker, but Windass is the option at the minute. Again, we need players to come in and build around.
What's your view on Patterson?
He's not a striker.
That's the issue. I'd like to keep him.
Yeah, same, but he's not a striker.
No. We do need a younger striker. Really do need a younger striker. And problem is they're hard to come by.
I mean, I can't really talk. You've just sent me this Windass photo. I can't really talk. I wear the wackiest things ever. It's not really like... It's just an interesting array of outfits, isn't it?
To be fair, when he's standing next to Kenny Miller, though, it's like, which one's the ex-pro and which one's the current pro?
Well, you can tell. Kenny does look like an ex-pro. Right.
Yeah, that got brought up by someone the other day. Well, going, Kenny Miller was there. He could be doing a job of manager. No.
What?
Yes. I did see that.
Are we on that level now?
It seems that it's annoying.
Anyway,
we need a new striking lineup.
We do. I agree. Let's go into the community. I'm sick of this, right? I'm sick of looking at stuff. You've just annoyed me with the Kenny Miller comment now, because it's just where we are, isn't it? Let's just talk about what's coming up. Cheltenham versus Sheffield Wednesday. If we don't win this and he gets the tactics wrong, I'm going to be a lot more aggressive next week. They've got 18 points, 5-3-6 record, 13th in League One, so they're below us. They're at home, but they've got a -7 goal difference. They concede goals. We need attack them. Yeah. See what happens. Not underestimating anyone in this league, but just take it to him.
Just for a chance, play 4-4-2. Shadipo, Corbin on the wing, and just see what happens.
Yeah, be a laugh.
Yeah.
Why not?
And the thing is, Windass is close to being back as well.
I'm waiting for it because we need more options up front. Because Berahino's not firing, is he, at the minute?
The bits and parts... No, he's not. Sorry, I'm not even going to use words.
Are you all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I know we've not been going over an hour in this podcast for a while, and we've been having quite short and sweet ones, but you do still... We used to do these for 3 hours, mate. You need to get a coffee. Right, community topics. Let's go into what you guys are telling us this week. So Matthew Bramall wrote in and said, how long would you give Darren Moore? Punk kind of alluded to it. He says a year. I'd say, at the current rate of results, I'd say Christmas. If he doesn't go on a run before that.
I understand that, but who do you get in at Christmas?
Oh, I don't know.
The thing is, the reason
nobody knows. Steve Bruce.
God no. The thing I got is Christmas, and especially if you're having to go say, right, you need to get these players to go on a run to get in to the playoffs or whatever, depending on where we are. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a difficult time.
How many matches have we got?
How many times have we said we need to have some consistency with a manager? And
how many matches?
Swapping and changing.
I know, but right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll say January 11. So New Year's Day. I'll give it to New Year's Day. 12 matches.
That gives the manager
12 matches.
A transfer window then.
Well, it doesn't, because the transfer window opens in January, doesn't it? That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. Maybe we give him the transfer window. Give him the entirety of January.
Yeah. It'll be Sheffield Wednesday.
No, mate. No, because, there's 12 matches up until January. If he can't win 5 of those matches...
Oh, no, he needs to win.
5 of 12... Get someone else in.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. You need to win because draws are not doing it. I'm not a big fan of
I'm not even asking him to win half there. I'm saying win 5, get a few draws, keep that unbeaten run to it. If you can get... Because I'll tell you the teams we're facing, right? Up until Christmas, we've got Cheltenham, Sunderland, Gillingham, Accrington Stanley, MK Dons, Wickham, Portsmouth, Crewe. Then Accrington Stanley again, then Burton, then Sunderland again, and then Shrewsbury on New Year's Day.
So we're getting point first of Wickham, Sunderland, Portsmouth.
No, that's why I said only win 5.
Yeah.
Right? That's that. You can count into that a battering at Wickham and Sunderland twice. You know. I just think we need to see it turn around for them. The things need to click because that's 12 more games, mate.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
If he can do that and get us 5 wins out of that, I'd give him. He needs it. I do think he deserves a transfer window. It sucks because if he had a transfer window where he could buy players, I think we'd be in a bit of a better position. But we were scraping the barrel a little bit, and he found some gems there, as I've said before. So I would also be happy to see him given the season, but 12 games is a big time from now and then. We need to not be saying the same things 12 games time. We really don't.
No, I agree with what you're saying. It just, with the way we brought him in, he'd been in 6 months in charge. And yeah, we should be doing better than where we are with the squad we got and stuff. And it's stupid mistakes that keep costing us at times, to be fair. Just no concentration. Yeah. And I don't know how you fix that, because that's been a thing that went for ages. I'm just not a fan of us constantly chopping and changing managers, because you need that consistency. We've shown if we had consistently under Carlo, granted, it did dip off. It does work.
Yeah. I'm not. Also, by the way, 5 wins probably wouldn't keep us in the promotion pack. I'm just saying 5 wins is progress on these crappy draws and conceding. I need to see a change of things. I need to see us going for a little bit more. I'd like to see 5 wins and 3 draws. I'd take the rest as losses.
Yeah.
That's out of 12, so that's 8, and then you've lost 4, aren't you?
People get your phones ready.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Except you, Bruce. You leave your phone in the sea.
That might change.
Yeah.
The manner of the games is a big thing as well.
It's a tight league as well.
Games aren't played on paper. This is what annoys me. You know the armchair fans that don't even watch the team at all, right? And they go, oh, well, on paper, look at this. It's dreadful. Did you see it? Did you see how it went down? Because that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
We live in a FIFA.
It's not hard to watch the match back either, is it?
Yeah.
But they all just go on Twitter and they don't even watch it back and they don't even anyway. Freddie Parkin writes in and goes, are we out of the automatic promotion race? No, because technically we're only 9 points away from it, but it's going to get harder if we carry on like we are.
Got to draws into wins.
Steve writes in again. And he goes, yes, it's me again. But in our last 9 games, starting at Plymouth and ending at Cambridge, one being a cup game, we have lost twice, Plymouth and Oxford, who are obviously Plymouth at the top of the league, Oxford 6th. 4 draws and 2 wins in the league plus 1 cup. Have we actually been overreacting? Moaning at the team and wanting Darren Moore to be sacked. Yes, 4 draws.
Positive.
Yes, 4
Jesus.
4 draws isn't great, especially against some of the teams, but 10 points from a possible 24 is an awful, considering this is a complete brand new squad who are in their first season playing together and quite possibly the only season that play with us. They play with us. It's a positive spin on it, I guess.
I'm just shocked.
Or a massive sarcastic one. We would take it either way.
By the way, for people that don't know, Steve have been struggling to watch our live streams recently. During the Cambridge one, we had a whole...
Is it Steve?
It's D, you can't get in, yeah.
Oh, I know why. I'll tell you off straight. Nothing to do with you, Steve. It's something to do with filters. I'll tell you later. That I know why. Go on.
But it's interesting that he said his spin on it can come across as sarcastic or actually quite level-headed. And the thing is, you hear that 10 out of 24, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's rubbish. And you're like, we should be taking more. But in the flip side, it is a new team. I will not have this clicking, gelling stuff thrown at me anymore, though. That'd do my head in. Kind of thing. Because we've had enough games now. Ipswich are even clicking now. Come on. But the thing we got an injury back line. We haven't
Injured
got...
back line, yeah.
Yeah, we probably have some of them. Especially Hutch. I think the chopping and change, like Moore said this week, situational football. We play situational football. That's why I don't have a starting 11. And I get it. You play for what's in front of you each game, so it's a different lineup each time. But I just personally think a lineup that knows who they're playing with week in, week out builds a bit more confidence. I don't know what you think.
I think we've got to look at the positives, though. We'll cry at the minute, because I keep looking at the table, and if you're looking at stats and you're one of those fans, look at the stats. We're not that far off.
No, we're not.
So keep on trucking. Just don't ram into the barriers like Jake. Last write-in from the community today is from Jez Giant Chicken, who says, is wearing white shorts with blue and white striped shirts ever acceptable, or is it blatantly obvious taboo that should be punishable by flogging? It's a rhetorical question, obviously.
Yeah.
So we're answering a rhetorical question here because he believes that it should be flogged, I assume. You should be flogged if this ever happens. I don't like it.
It black shorts all the way.
Yeah, it's obviously. But it's black shorts all the way. We couldn't do it because of the kit clashes the other day.
They look bloody weird, though.
It did look weird.
It looks like when I go on FIFA and I forget to change the kit things and it goes to pink kit versus like a red and white. I'm like,
well, that's so annoying. That's so annoying on the new FIFA because you've got to go into customize to change the kits.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come up automatically, and I don't know what every team's got, so I'll end up playing a team like Charlton at home in a red kit, and I'll be in the pink kit. And when I'm playing on my TV that I use to do all the gameplay footage, the contrast is not great. And I'm like, which one's which? I'm going to the opticians tomorrow, so that actually sort because I think my eyes have got worse. Then again, COVID meant I couldn't really go that much, so I probably have got worse.
Yeah.
But thanks for writing in, Jez. Good to have the humour as well. Please, guys, keep the writings coming in, and when we rely on you guys when it's a slow news week, because obviously we are a community-led podcast and news and that sort of stuff.
Podcast, we might need a lot because it's a one game, kind of thing. So more stuff.
We'll never, as we said, we'll never put a podcast out if we feel like we've got nothing to talk about. But we've made it 41 episodes so far, so we're doing all right. But that's it from me this week. You got anything to add, Punk?
It's getting darker, it's getting greyer, but it's nearly Christmas, so yay.
Got a lot of things to do before Christmas, unfortunately.
So have I.
Things in the way of Christmas.
I have a child that was born in December, so Christmas isn't fun.
Well, think about when you get Randy next time, yeah, Jake?
Yeah, don't worry, that's already on the card not to do a Christmas baby again.
I don't know if we can keep that in the podcast, can we? Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
keep that in the podcast. That'll be fine. That's not the thing. Well, there's some stuff that gets. Oh yeah, members only. There is members only bits that get a little bit interesting. So if you would like to join the members only tiers, there is behind the scenes videos occasionally going out there. But yeah, I hope you have a lovely week. Take care, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.